Hello, this is Neil Berry from Berry Estates. It's going to be a quick overview of how to use the Agent Achieve Blue Book CMA Report Builder. So if you go to your home page, either by Prudential, California Realty, or Home right here, you'll see on the left-hand side CMA Report Builder. Click on that, and it comes up. Sorry, I was already there. What type of report you want to create? You're going to click, I want a CMA seller. You do buyer, whatever you want. If you haven't done it before, you do have to click here to get the report generator. You have to do it once for each PC. Once you've done it once, you never have to do it again. If you don't forget to do it here, it'll ask you at the very end too. We're going to do a seller CMA today just to get you going. Let's create that report and see what it looks like. You can pick an existing client, new client, no client at all. It shows it up on one page at the very end, just kind of saying, whoever you pick, by Neil Berry, it's a nice little touch. So we're going to create one. We're going to pick an existing client, and then we're going to pick a good old Andrew Berry. Let's go down a little save and next. On the save and next, it comes up here. Whoop. Now, what reports do you want to have? We're going to pick them all just so you can kind of see them. You kind of want the cover page. You're going to do the customized marketing plan. It's a little hokey, but something there. Yeah, and once you do it, you may not want to pick here's a summary of each property versus a single page for each property. You may not want both, but hey, let's print them both out so you can see what they look like to begin with. We're going to save and next. Now here, you got two different choices what you can do. You can either enter your information yourself, or you can be a little bit lazy and pick an old or an existing MOS. Now just remember, if it's seller, it's probably not on the MLS right now, but if there's one back that was sold, up to 5-10 years ago, the pictures and all the information is there. So we're going to pick that just because, hey, I don't have to enter everything. So if you didn't pick an MLS, you'd have to enter all the information, all the addresses, how many square footage, and all that. Now you can put a little more information if you want, say, great view and whatever else. If you didn't do it from MLS, the photo right here, you'd be saying browse. You pick the photo that you have on your laptop or your computer, and submit would be right down here and submit it. But someone else took the picture, a little easier, and I'm kind of lazy. Save and next. Here we go. And we don't want to do that because, hey, it's a laptop, who knows. We're going to add comparables. And the comparables you're going to click on, just to pick it from the MLS. You can do the create comparables over there if it was something different. Remember, when you do on the search, you always have to pick status category. What are you searching for? I'm searching active. You can hold the control key down for pending and sold, because I want all three on this particular one, because, in comparative in CMAs, it's nice to have all three. I can do a bath. I'm just going to do 2. And for bedrooms, I was going to do 3. Not that big of a deal. Closing date. You can either pick the calendar right here to pick a calendar, or you can just enter the date. I always just like to go to the first of the year, and if it's something I don't want later, I can pick it out later. So that gives it to me there. And I want to see how many houses I picked on that. Ooh, what did I do? I got too many. Oh yeah, don't have an area in there. So we can either do an area by 5-mile radius for our thing, or we draw it on a map. So it really depends on what you want to do. We're going to do a quick map so you can see what it looks like on a map. Sometimes in a map it's really nice. So we're going to draw our boundaries. Boundaries, we're going to do a paragon. So we can do, I'm going to pick from down here because this is a little housing tract I want. Click. I want to click down to here. I'm going to click over to here, up to there, all the way down to about there. Come back over to Alcosta and end at the same spot you start by clicking there, and that gives you your property. Click a little lower and you'll see add to search. So now my search is going to search that little property, that one little housing tract we got going there. So now let's see how many search we got down to. I'm sure our number has gone a lot less. 91. We're still on a little bit of the high side, so I don't want to look at that many. I want to look at 91 properties. So let's come back up here and see what we want to do. We got bath greater than 2. Let's do bedrooms. How about? I don't think I put that in there. So we're going to put bedrooms at let's put it at 3 and see what that does for us. And return the search there. 29. That's a reasonable search. So we're going to do run and search here. So in the run and search, it comes through. We got our 29 properties, and we can kind of go, okay, let's select them all to begin with. But you know what? As I'm looking through it, a couple of these just don't really make sense. I don't need this $1 million property in there. I don't want that $1 million property in there. And I really don't want this 645. It just doesn't match what I know this property is, what it should be. That 599 is definitely wrong. You know, so I'm going to kind of go there and maybe rule out this 699. So I'm not going to add those. So now when we got these, the ones that have a check mark, what I'm going to add to my CMA. So you can pick and choose what you want. So the properties are going to be added to my CMA by clicking the button up here. So those are added to my CMAs, and I can create a new CMA comparable if a new comparable if these comparables don't really meet my criteria. But I got a reasonable mix in there, so I think I'm okay. So I can go save and next. Now what it tells me is, okay, how many average days of the sold properties I have. Okay, 45 days, got my price. Here's what it's thinking the price is really worth that property by taking all the different things in effect. If you know it has a great view, or the square footage is, you know, it should be adjusted for because of better square footage or something, market trends, or schools are better, I can add value to that. I'm not going to, but you can see that would add a little bit of value here and there. What it takes is a 2.5% range. You can change that number. So I'm going to say that's my low price, that's my high price, that's what I'm going to give them. But if you change to 5%, would change it. If you change to 1%, make it smaller, tighter fit. Okay, save and next. Now what it's saying is, okay, we're going to do a net sheet here. You know, what's the loan on the thing, how much commission you're going to give it, what are your fees. It's pretty easy. You can just put different numbers in here. So let's say I have $450 for that. Let's say my title fees, I want to do a dollar amount, not a percentage. So I'm going to say $2,000. And let's say percentage of silver tax is there. I'm going to do, let's say it's 0.02, just to fill it out a little bit. And so it gives me a different range for the high and the low, of course. You know, so that's a good way of going for different things you want to do. You can do repairs, you can do all kinds of stuff. Here's your net sheet, subtotals, extra expenses you want to do there. So how much you want to details you want to spend on that. Here we go. Now you got your blank brief page that we told earlier to pick. So you can give a title to it, you can put content in there, and pick what you want on that. Now here's our marketing plan. You can pick what you think you're going to do for it. So it just kind of gives them memorize, here's what I'm going to do. Hopefully you come a little more detailed, but if you're in a rush, to pinch, it works. Your personal profile, I can say I'm hardworking, working here, bullet points, and down here I can give it some free text. I am a great worker. How about? Who knows what you want to put in there? But it's free text. You'll see where it shows up on there. Here's your references. You put name and addresses. You know, you can see where it comes in. So let's say Steve McNitt is at 7467. That's in San Ramon, so people can actually call them and find out where it's at. 83. And that'll show up later. You can pick as much as you want. You can do how many references you want to do there. So save and next. Once you've done it once, it saves it in there. So it'll be in all your CMAs unless you change it. Here's our client that we picked earlier. You can put some other stuff in there if you want about. You can change his address. I didn't put anything in for Andrew Berry. Here you can click and change the order that your report comes in. Do you want your photo and all that to come in on the bottom of the thing, or no footer and all that? Pick and choose what you want to do there. And we're going to create that report. So that's generate. Now if you didn't click on that report generate, it would ask you to do it here. We're just going to open it up. When you open it up, it says allow, because the report generator that we ran it runs the report generator. It actually saves it every time. So I'm going to save in the desktop. I'm going to pause it for a second. You can see it's not the fastest report generator in the world, but it's there. It creates it for you. And it comes out to a pretty nice report. There's my beautiful face, and you can see me and all my glory there. You can see here's where it comes with things, and that little free style comes in right there. So it, you know, depends how much you want to put in there and all that good stuff. You can see this is probably not my best work in the world. You can see we have all the people there. You can see the address if you put it in there, and phone numbers and all that fun stuff. We picked our name and address to come at the bottom, so it does come at the bottom down there. And here's your subject property, the picture that you brought in earlier. A little about the house, so it's a nice little overview there. Here's competitive analysis, and here's where the name of the client comes in. So if you put whatever you put there, if you didn't put a client, that page would be kind of blank and it wouldn't be kind of worthless. Here's that marketing plan. I said it was kind of there, but it does list something if you're in a rush. Now pinch, it goes active, pending, sold. So we have 4 active, so it gives you a little summary of the 4 actives. Then it comes out to the pendings and the sold, and we have 4 pendings and 4 solds. Actually, we had more solds. We had 8 solds. No, we had 12 solds. Oh, we had a lot of solds. Okay. If you notice back here, if there's not a picture on the MLS, it does give a map of it. So it's kind of a nice way, so it's nothing blank there, so you can kind of see where it is. Better picture, but no, it's perfect. And we got all the little things in there. Now you're going to have a lot of individual pages for each one of those bought and sold, so you can kind of decide how much of those you want to show. You may not want to put all the individuals. You might just want to put the active, you might just want to put the solds in there. So we're going to skip over some of that because you didn't need that. Okay, at the very end, you're going to get a map of active, pending, and sold. Will map where these are. So it's kind of nice to show where all the all are and a list of them. 10 will come on a page, so it's kind of nice to see how many are there. They can see where they are and get a reference to with a reference property. They show how many of the things of our active properties, then they go pending, they go sold, how many meet their, how many had price changes on there. So it's it's a good chart. You might decide if you don't want it or do you want it. It's there. Whoops, a little too fast there. Now here's sold comparable properties. Tells you how many days. We had that in the first. Here's your high and low, kind of your suggested price, and we can talk to them about what price in that range you kind of want to do it. Then your net sheet, how much money they're going to make if they do the high, if they do the low. Depends how much work you put on that. And that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed the little presentation on CMAs, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye now.